There,
Are you
we're
live?
Yes.
Are you live?
We're
It's
live.
loading.
We're live.
No big. Come on. Come on. What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's
Come
up?
on.
What's up?
We coming in.
I don't do whatever.
I'm coming in hot, just like a fajita.
Italian
Right where I live.
Italian Elkie. Italian Elkie.
Look, I got Sarai bouncing.
Italian Elkie. Italian Elkie.
I'll bring the fire.
Look, Italian Elkie.
What's up, Italia? How you doing, sis? Elkie's in the house. I'm having some, I thought I shared it.
They were talking to Italian Elkie. Italian Elkie.
Thank God I ain't average.
Who's average? Nobody's average. Italian Elkie are not average.
I hope you guys dancing where you at. Look, even Jareem's on. Jareem, it's like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning where he's at.
Wake up, Jareem. Wake up.
But I did. No big. I feel like Pop. I shoot the shot. Ray's coming in. Woo! Let's go, let's go, let's go. How we doing, everybody? Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I was going to say Thursday, but it actually is Wednesday on the calendar. How we doing this evening?
God bless you, Italia. Definitely
Yes.
not average. Yes. Eva
What
is
happened?
watching.
What?
Huh?
Well, you're like looking down, like you're mumbling. I thought you was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I am talking to my people.
Oh,
My people.
yeah. I can't multitask, guys. I have a hard time with multitasking. So I don't ever just ignore anybody like on purpose. It really is because it's hard for me to multitask. I can't stay focused. It's something that I'm working on. Not really, but so with that, I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. 2:51 a.m. Thursday morning where Jareem's at. Brother Jareem. Hopefully we can bring you something that keep you up and give you some energy. So with that, you guys already know I'm Raymond Wright, founder of Right Way Leadership Transformational Coaching. I am your motivator, your inspirator, but most importantly, I am your transformator. Transformation is a key to the game. It's an inside thing because when you can interiorly transform, then exteriorly, things will come your way that you never could have imagined. Yes, Stacy, I got a haircut. This is called a Ray cut because I ain't spending no money to shave my own head. Right?
Do you want to tell them what I told you look like?
She told me I look like a skinhead. Like I thought that was a low blow, Stacy. Wasn't that a low blow? Skinhead. I'm like, that was so prejudiced. That was so prejudiced. So that was prejudice.
They don't hear what you say.
You were prejudging me.
I'm not prejudging you. I already know you, so there's no pre. There's no pre.
Guys, if you guys only knew the way she talked to me when you weren't around.
Yeah, whatever. You should see how he talks. You should see how he talks.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you very much.
What did she say? She didn't say nothing nice to you.
She said poor Ray.
Look, what do you see me doing right now?
I see a big dot on your forehead.
I'm playing the violin.
Why did you check your forehead? Look, now you're rubbing your forehead.
Like, wait a minute, let me see. Is there a dot?
Hey.
You know what he said? There's
like you remind me of Pocahontas.
Pocahontas.
Yeah, you're like if you were like a movie character, like a cartoon movie character, I think you'd play Pocahontas.
I've never been called that. I've been called Gloria Stefan for some reason. I don't know
Gloria
why.
Stefani? Really? Gloria Stefani?
Her name is not Stefani, it's Stefan. Gloria Stefan, not Stefani.
Who's Gloria Stefan?
She's a singer. She's a singer. She's a singer from Miami.
I thought that was who. I don't know. I thought. Who knows what we were talking about? What were we talking about?
I don't know, but we're talking about make changes and no excuses.
No, it's no excuses. It's no excuses and make changes.
No excuses, people. Make changes. Time to make changes. End of the year. Time to make changes.
Can you guys tell that this is my title? So
Yes.
Sarai's got like the 5 tips to living an extraordinary, blessed life. And Ray's got like, shut your mouth and do the work.
Exactly. It totally looks like yours. All right. So
Dahlia said she's an amazing Cuban singer.
Yes, she's an amazing Cuban singer. That's what she is. Exactly.
So I'm thinking of Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, no, I do not look like Gwen Stefani.
But when you said that, that's who I was thinking of because I don't know who you were talking of. So I'm like, Gwen Stefani, you don't look like Gwen Stefani.
But Gwen Stefani is the bomb. She's, oh my God, that is so funny. I don't know what she I wish I could have everybody like facing us like in Zoom so that then we could all laugh at each other instead of just them laughing at us and we're laughing at each other.
They're laughing with me at you.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they're laughing at something else. I am pretty sure.
How is everybody doing tonight? Is everybody having a great week? Is everybody having a great week? I hope everybody's having a fantastic week. We are gonna talk about no excuses and make changes tonight. I'm gonna be honest with you, but you guys are used to me saying this. I'm not really prepared. It's been a long week. We got a lot of work going on. There's a lot of behind the scenes things. You guys know, all my entrepreneurs out there. You guys already know that it's like the winter time, and so I don't pack on the weight. I got to do more work. So, trying to. So this is where I'm at right now. I'm at a time in my life where I'm like, okay, I have to assess, not 2020. I have to assess where am I at and where has the last 6 years got me. So for me, I'm starting to think, okay, this is where I'm at. Some good things have happened, right? But I don't think I'm where I should have been, because I think I've allowed some things to fall through the cracks. So even with me, is I'm going back and I'm saying, okay, I need to start to strip some layers back because there's some things that have held me back from being where I want to go. And I can't make any more excuses because I am doing something, because I am doing this, and I am doing that, and I'm seeing results here, I'm seeing results there. But I had to really assess it and look at myself and say, okay, what is my foundation right now? What is my foundation, and where are the cracks in my foundation that I've allowed some things to go, and maybe some things that I haven't seen because I just wasn't looking in the right places. So the reason I'm saying all this, because I don't care where you are in your growth, right? I know Stacy, did the Jay Shetty certification thing, which is awesome. And I never really listened to Jay Shetty, and it's funny because Sarai told me how great he was, and I'm like, he ain't nothing. Because I never really heard of him.
That is exactly what he did.
But listen.
Same thing.
But it took Stacy for me to say, Jay Shetty, I've heard that name before. So I listened to him do an interview with Ed Milet, and it blew my stinking mind away. And I immediately texted Stacy and said, hey, how was that course?
Oh my God. You should do it. Maybe you should get certified in that.
So well, there's so much. So this is another thing I realized is you can really get burnt out from doing too much, though, right?
Yeah.
And this is what Sarai's been yelling at me about. She's been saying, just apply it. Just apply it. Just apply it.
People, that's how I
Justify
scream.
it.
I scream like that exactly at him. He's like, "Oh, let's do this and this and this," and I'm like, "No, we can't do so many things. We could only like exactly."
I know.
Right, but like, Stacey
So
understands. Stacey understands this.
Look, Stacey's awesome. I love Stacey. So, like, ever since she did that talk on the Greatness Summit, I mean, like, I just fell in love with her there.
Cool, Stacey.
And that was my first experience with Stacey. Was on the Greatness Summit.
Stacey was amazing in her talk. Amazing.
That thing on when she started to talk about forgiveness, man, because I think so as we get in, do you want to introduce yourself?
Well, you haven't given me a chance, so I'm just like, guys, do you see how he treats me? But anyway,
I love her. I really do love her. For
those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarai Nammur. Sarai. I am a my new title is Transformational Trauma Therapist and Coach. And I am a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida and founder of Circle of Champions Worldwide and Trinity Community Mental Health Center. And I am talking like this today for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, I am very passionate about helping people transform their pain and their adversity and turning it into the thing that you step on and get bigger, better, and greater. So that is my introduction. Yoo-hoo! Woo-hoo!
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. So I want to ask you guys a question too, because my ultimate goal is to make this podcast, like when you see a lot of the podcasts, I absolutely love podcasts because I think they bring so much value, and people can listen to them. It's not like a live where I mean, I guess you can, but with podcasts, I think that the influence that podcasts have to reach more of a wide variety and vast people is phenomenal. So that's what my ultimate goal is with this podcast. So my question would be just, you can note it. You can send me a direct message. What's something, or what are a couple things, that you guys think could I guess up us a little bit, that could help us really level up? What are some things with your people, the people that you serve, your clients, your customers? What are some things that maybe they're going through that we can start to implement into some of our conversations and talks as well? Because I really want to be able to influence, encourage, and bless as many people as possible, which is the ultimate goal. And I know not everybody's for everybody, but I'm Raymond, and I believe I am for everyone. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Oh, God.
You were paying attention so good. That was awesome. You were so paying attention.
You do. All right.
Thank you, Galia. So
I have an idea. I think it'll be really cool to have our guests come like a guest. I think it would be great to have a guest, like even twice a month, like have a guest intermittently in our show. I think that would be awesome. Like just for conversation, not to interview them or for them to tell their life story, but just for us to have a conversation about real life.
We already talked about doing that the last Wednesday of every month. We talked about that like 2 months ago, and we never did it.
Yeah,
because Raymel was supposed to be the first one. Now that we're thinking about it.
All right,
we told Raymel after like the second week we were going to have him on, and then we had Carrie on.
All right, then we got to tell, and then we had Carrie like 3 times. So we got to tell Raymel. What about Joreem? Joreem should be on our show. I would love to have Joreem and wake up at 3 a.m. and be on our show.
If he's willing to do that, Joreem's my brother. That's my brother from another mother. In another country.
I asked him to do Thrive Talk with me so I could have my first international guest on Thrive Talk.
You've had an international guest before.
No.
Didn't you have Jack on it?
I haven't had him yet.
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't had him. I would like to have Joreem. I would love to have Joreem. He's awesome. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, that's my guy, though. That's my brother right there.
Well, I think Jareem fell asleep because he's not even answering or making any. Look,
Look, he said he would love to do that too.
Awesome. We should have Jareem, would you like to do Thrive Talk or would you like to be on this show with us? Which one?
He needs to be with his brother. He's got to be with his brother. He can do both.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. He was my brother before he was yours because you only met him because he went to Circle of Champions.
Yeah, but you have to admit something. Nothing.
No, what? There's nothing to admit. Jareem, woohoo, yes. But if you would like, okay, let's do this. If you would like to be a guest on our show, it's not to tell your life story. That's Thursday night. But if you would like to be a guest on our show, let us know, and we could fit you in. I think it'll be cool to just have a conversation.
This is the cut up. This is the cut up show. We're just gonna cut it up.
He said, "I am awake." Come on.
This is the cut up show, guys. We're just gonna cut it up. If you're a guest on with us, we're just gonna cut it up.
Yeah, then you'll see the back scenes that for the whole 10 minutes before we get on, we're just fighting.
Did you say vaccines? Did you say vaccines?
What did I say? I don't know what I said.
I thought you said you could have the vaccines or something like that.
Back seat. I don't know what I said.
Back seat. Okay.
I don't know what I said. All
right.
Now.
So.
Dalia heard me. Guys, this is just comedy club. Hold on. I want to say something. I don't know about other states here in Miami. If you go to traffic school, they have a comedy traffic school, and I think we're like we're like comedy life hacks school. Like we take like 20 minutes to get serious.
I don't want to be a comedy. I'm not a comedian. I don't want people laughing at me.
They're laughing with us, not at us, with us. It's like family.
I'm not a very funny guy though. Like I tried to do comedian. My kids were like, "Dad, yeah, you're not funny at all." And then when I do say something funny every now and then, and my kids are like, "Dad, I don't think I've ever heard you say anything funny."
I mean, I think you're pretty funny, especially when you give yourself a haircut. I think that's pretty funny. I think you are pretty funny.
See, I'm a funny skinhead.
Exactly. Driving through.
And then we got a Cuban Pocahontas.
Yeah, I guess I'm a Cuban. Look, Igdalia gave us a name for our show, Thriving Through Laughter.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it.
That's pretty good.
So do you all want us to start getting serious right about now and start talking about no excuses, making changes?
I just threw this topic together because I think it's
because he was mad at me and he just told me he just threw something.
She kept bugging me. What's the topic? And then I gave her a topic and she was like, explain it. And I'm like, never mind.
Guys,
who tells you to explain a topic? We just come on and talk about it.
I like to have things in order.
I have things in order. Think about it. Talk about it.
All right.
That's the order I go. Okay. All right. So no excuses. Make changes. No excuses. So I want all of y'all to really go into a place right now. So most of you that know my life, right? Or I guess you don't know my life, but the things that I've shared with you, right? So we can talk about all the past. We could talk about everything. I've been through some of the most tragic and trauma-induced things in my life that a kid shouldn't go through, a kid shouldn't see, a kid shouldn't endure, right? And I carried that through my teenage years, and I carried that into a young adulthood, and then I got sober by the grace of God, even though I didn't know it at the time at almost 22 years old because I was facing a lot of time in prison. And then for 13 years, I had 4 kids. I got married, bought a house, bought 2 cars, had a great job, and I lived a stagnant, non-existing, just showing up life. Like just showing up, right? And I had an excuse for everything that I did I had an excuse for every way I acted. I had an excuse why I couldn't do more. I had there was always an excuse, right? And it was because I was unwilling to make any changes in any area of my life. You could have told me everything about me. You could have told me, you could have said all these things about me. You could have, and I just would have argued you to death. I would have argued you to death and told you why you were wrong. Right? I was a very argumentative person. Even if you were right, I would have never let you think you were right. I would have made you give up. Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because that's exactly how I am. That's exactly how I am.
Nate, that's why we argue all the time.
Yeah, I will fight you to the core. But you know what's the difference between me and you? Is that I'll think about it.
I'm a man, you're a woman?
No, I'll sleep on it, and the next day you'll get a text from me saying, like, you know what, you're right. But you never say you're right. You'll still
I've never gotten an apology from you or a you're right. I've never got that from you.
That is not true. But I'm laughing because probably a lot of people listening, we tend to do that. We tend to resist. Because we don't want to hear
absolutely. I think that's where the excuses come in. Anytime we resist anything of change, there's a resistance there. And it starts at such a young age. So what I'm trying to teach my kids, right? Like my kids with the school thing, with the sports, with everything, is I try to tell them to take advantage of specific things and learn what they normally wouldn't be able to learn when everything's normal. Take the time now to build that mindset up. Take the time now to work on this specific game. Because think about this, when you play with kids and you play with coaches for years and years and years, whatever it is, they have a tendency to memorize or to know your skill set, right? Now's the time to mix it up. So the reason why I like this is where we're at now, because I'm even diving into some new things. So I started to listen to Jay Shetty, of course. I started to listen to Brandon Bouchard, who's two phenomenal guys. And I normally wouldn't listen to them because I had my own set style. But I need to make changes. And the changes I need to make are to further my horizons, to further my wisdom, to further my understanding of the game of coaching, of the game of course creation, of the game of networking, of the game of people skills, of the game of, so for me, I needed to stop making excuses and I needed to make a change, right? Yes, so some things have happened in my life and I made a decision. Right? So in the morning times, I started a different routine. So I mixed it up a little bit, right? So I needed to do something different, because even in my growth, I felt like I was getting stagnant, and I keep telling all my clients, level up. We need to level up. How do I get you to level up? How do I get your mind to tell you that I'm ready to take the next level, right? So I had to ask myself that. And I had to get rid of all the excuses I had, I have to get uncomfortable, right? I think when we start to talk about make no excuses and make changes in your life, it's about getting uncomfortable. It's about getting out of the familiar zone. Even like back then, I got familiar and comfortable with just existing in life. I really didn't have no goals, didn't have no dreams, didn't have no desires, didn't have no wants, right? But now I got all that stuff. And I still felt like I got stagnant, and I still felt like there was some resistance there. So now I really just want to be like now it's time to live life on my terms, for God, but on my terms, right? As long as it's in alignment with God. So let me, you guys know me. So, but if I feel like it's in alignment with God, then I feel like it's time to create something so different than what I'm used to. So I'm trying to change that kind of no excuse and make changes. Even here, 6 years that I've been building this personal development, transformation, leadership thing, I think after 6 years, it's time to kind of shake it up a little bit.
Good. Yep. Yeah. What do you want me to do? So
what is it?
You know what? This is what happens when I start talking. You just listen, and I was too stuck listening to the story. That's what happened right now.
Oh my gosh.
I was in the
Excuse me.
story. I was in the
I'm
story.
gonna have a heart attack, guys. Well, do you not want to? Do you just want to stare at me the whole time? So
I was listening to the story.
Let me. All right. So I guess I can ask you a question, right?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Why do you feel what? Or let me ask you this.
Yes.
What's the necessity of making changes in your life? Of not really settling for your excuses anymore?
What is the necessity for making changes in your life and not? All right. So, well, for me, I was listening to you, and what I was thinking about was resistance and how I have always been so resistant to change because for me, change has always been a scary thing. So the way that I don't really acknowledge I haven't really acknowledged that up until more recently. But so before, I think the minute I felt the resistance, I would just do the disappearing act and not follow through with the stuff I have planned for myself. So I've been trying really hard to not do that. I've been trying really hard to show up and just keep doing what I have to do. But that's what I was thinking about when you were saying that about the resistance and how by doing that, how we stunt our growth like so much. So I think that's why you and I have been fighting a little bit this week because this is true, guys, because you've been telling me, hey, listen to this person, this, the thing that we're doing, the whatever training that we're doing. And I'm like, I don't want to do any more trainings. I just need to radical action. And you guys that were in the thing with us, that's what I'm looking at it like I only have 3.5 months left to do what I said I was gonna do in 2020. And I don't know if you guys feel me, if you guys get this, let me know. But I've been looking at the calendar and I'm like, man, it's 2020. Hi. I'm looking at it. I'm like, wow, it's like 2020 is about to end, and I didn't do everything I said I was gonna do. And so now I'm like, running to get done the things I need to do. So that's why you and I have been fighting because you want to keep like learning stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to learn anything. I just want to implement, and I can learn stuff next week because I don't want to fall into that trap. Because I think you know what, and Stacy, if she's still on, we talked about this, and sometimes looking busy is just a part of procrastination. And sometimes overdoing like all these learnings and all these classes and all these things is just another way of us looking busy and looking like we're doing something, and really we're just procrastinating and we're full of crap. We just don't want to do what we got to do. So now I'm like, I got to do what I got to do. I wasted like 3 months. This summer has been difficult. Like this summer has been rough. And I haven't done a lot, and I haven't done a lot. So, but
but you have done a lot.
What have I done?
Because, I mean, you created the trauma course. We did the master class twice. Twice we did the master class. So true. I mean, all in that is a lot. You're doing all the behind the scenes stuff. We started a podcast together, right?
Well,
I mean, we are moving forward. I think a lot of it is I think you're basing a lot of it is because the rewards aren't great right now. The return on investment's not there right now. But as you always tell me, it doesn't happen overnight, Ray. It doesn't happen overnight, Ray.
Guys, he's saying, are you listening to this? He's saying that's my accent, guys. That's what he just made fun of my accent.
I wouldn't say that was your particular. Hey, Jamie, yes, I did. I cut my own hair, Jamie. So, but I heard you saying this. So you were saying that it is a form of procrastination. But what I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. I was stuck. So my brother Clint told me about Brandon Burchard a while ago, and then we talked the other day, and he told me about his highly effective habits, the book that he wrote, right? Or High Performance Habits, right? So when I started to listen to him, I'm listening to something so different that I'm not used to listening to, right? You got me to listen to Tony Robbins when we did that 5-day thing. It opened my mind up. Now, I'm coming from a network marketing background about life coaching, motivating, inspiring, and encouraging people to build a business, right? So I formed a business. It's the same, but it's a little bit different, right? So I'm looking at it as, okay, I didn't know anything about course creations a year ago, guys. I knew nothing about course creations, right? I didn't know anything about like these master classes. I didn't know Lisa Nichols and what she did. I didn't know any of that. You know what I mean? I listened to the Les Browns, and now Eric Thomas is doing a lot of these courses. But back then, you know, it wasn't as much. So now like all this is new to me. So now when I'm listening to Ed Milet and Brandon Burchard and Jay Shetty, I'm thinking, wow, this is all of it, everything is really the same in the personal development field. But it's amazing that there's thousands of people, right? And the top of the top, how incredible they are about, Sarai's going to love that I say this because it really drives me crazy, is how detailed they are. How detailed they are about every step that they take from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed. And that's one thing that I can tell you. I just bought a journal and I stare at it and I'm like, what do I write? So, because I'm a note taker, but just being a note taker isn't good enough. Now I need to start getting my ideas, because I'll have a great idea and I don't write it down. And I'm going to tell you right now, that sucker's gone forever. So again, it goes back to, I was making too many excuses and I was staying comfortable, right? I got comfortable.
And sometimes we don't make excuses. Sometimes we overthink, and we use overthinking as a reason to not move forward, Raymond. But anyway, sometimes we just start overthinking, and then 2 weeks go by of overthinking and no action happens. Who could identify with that? Who out there is like an overthinker?
I'm not losing my hand.
Well, you need to raise both your hands and your feet, like everything. That was like a shot to you. That was a shot. Like,
I get a lot of those. I get a lot of those.
Like, I just feel like it's time. Like, I mean, okay, so I have two thoughts. The other thought I have is, I was saying that I haven't gotten a lot done this year, but now that I think about it, I've done a lot of internal work. I think pretty much ever since this whole COVID thing happened, for some reason, so much has happened that I think I've been doing a lot of internal work, and I'm ready. And, by default, guys, I've been doing internal work, not even on purpose. It just pushed me into the internal work. Like, life just thrusted me into it. So I've been doing that. And then now I'm just ready to take action. Like, I don't want to learn anything else. I have so much stuff that all these courses and coaches and all this stuff. It's exactly what Ryan said. Look what he said, implementing and utilizing information to be results oriented. Perfect. Exactly. So I need to see results before the end of the year, because if 2021 rolls around and the things I said I was going to do in 2020 didn't happen, I'm going to be mad on January 1st, because I'm going to be like, oh.
So, hey, that's a great, so this is the thing. So as we're moving forward, right? We're moving forward. We still have the COVID thing. We have the economy, which I don't even think seen the worst of it yet, right? So people are panicking. People are frustrated. They're stressed. People's goals and dreams are being left behind because of the anxiety and kind of the pain that people are going through, right? So yeah. If we're talking to our normal clients and normal stuff, and I get it, stress, anxiety, it's part of this, and I think that we all deal with it. I think even the top leaders at this point, because people are struggling at such a high level that even they got to reassess and build themselves up. But let me ask you this: this is what if everything stays the same?
I think there's a chance that that's going to happen for a while.
So what if everything stays the same? That's my question to you. What if everything stays the same?
Well, I think we're all adjusting to a new norm, and that has happened multiple times throughout history. Like, we're living through our own in our lifetime, this is probably the craziest thing, right? But I think other generations before us have had experiences like this, not exactly like coronavirus, but other experiences. Because I'm pretty sure, like, people who lived through the Holocaust probably thought, "Ooh, like there's so many different things that have happened," and I think this is just like a new norm that we might have to get used to for a little bit. The whole mask wearing, I'm pretty sure it's going to pour into 2021 and for a while going through, maybe even like utilizing more Zoom and and the meetings. And it's just a new norm that we need to get used to and just build like health around it. Because at the beginning it didn't feel healthy because we all got thrown into it. We all had so much anxiety. Like I wouldn't even get dressed till like 3 p.m. in the afternoon and all of that. And then at some point I thought, I just need to get ready for the day. I need to get up and get ready, and I need to start working out, and I need to do this and this and this, and sort of recreate your life around it. But it could be that this will last. I mean, look at it, Israel. Israel just had a second lockdown because of the second wave that happened over there. So who's to say that we're not going to see a third wave? Because I think we had the second wave already in the summer. And then now what if a third wave happens? So it's more about not letting it freeze us and make us terrified. It's more about like us continuing our life and adjusting to it, because who really survives through things like this are people who learn how to adjust. If we start fighting things that are uncontrollable, that really sets the stage for misery, failure, and everything else. Like we need to pivot and we need to adjust to whatever is happening. And I think a lot of us are doing that. I think we are doing that. Like even something as small as the events that we've had, they've been over Zoom and they've worked out well. They haven't been in person. I know you're dying to meet me, but I know you're like, I want to meet Sarai, but
Are you talking to the fans or me?
I'm talking to you.
Oh.
If I had the power to flick you off the chair and make, have you guys ever seen Raymond fall back on that chair? Carrie and I have seen that happen.
I don't think they have. I think it's just been you and Carrie.
He fell back. He actually flipped over the chair and everything. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about like, do you think our current circumstances are going to last for a while? What do you guys think?
So what if everything stays the same? So this is
yeah, Jamie says that. I look at Raymond.
So this is my thing. I want everyone to understand something, and I think I failed at this. I think I failed at this when I first originally got comfortable in the network marketing field. Is I thought everybody had to be an entrepreneur. I thought everybody had to do what I did. I thought everybody needed to build their financial wealth. I literally had this mindset that you were a loser if you didn't want to get better. Because I went from this mentality. So I went from one extreme to the other extreme. But this is where I'm at now, right? So I really feel like I want people to understand. So I'm working with people. It's like, you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to be a speaker. You don't have to do what you see everybody else doing. How do we at this time moving forward, because people are struggling, how do we get people to understand that living their best life is just being fulfilled, and every morning resetting their mind and deciding to be happy, deciding to have joy with the job they have, with the situation they're in? It's never going to be exactly the way we want it. But I think sometimes as a coach, and I'm speaking from myself, sometimes I feel like I fail my clients because I forget to tell them that it's okay to have a job for somebody that you love. It's okay to struggle as a parent and continue to get better. It's okay. I think sometimes we're so positive mindset and we're so trying to be so influential and moving people forward in their goals and their dreams that sometimes we just got to take a step back and say it's okay to be where you're at. Just don't go backwards. This is a season, right?
I was talking to one of my clients today about that, because other people are trying to push her to be the template of what an entrepreneur should look like or what an influencer should look like. And then my questions were to her, like, where are you at right now? And where do you wish to be? Right. So then She needs to make a move depending on from where she's at, not where someone else is at. Because
It's
we're
so
looking at the
key.
person there's a person standing on top of the mountain, but that person may have taken 10 years to get on top of that mountain. Like, you're not going to get on top of the mountain overnight. Like, what is the next best move for yourself? Maybe the next best move for you is posting 3 times a week, committing to posting 3 times a week and sharing your message 3 times a week. And then you up it in 6 months, you might add something else to it. But the comparison game really kills people, like the comparison game of where other people are at and how did they get there. And it's all a process. It's all it's a huge process. Like, I mean, it's just incredible how I really, I don't think I do that. You could tell me if you think I do that. I don't think I compare myself to others. I rather compare myself to myself and measure like where I'm at, where I want to be. I don't know if I've ever
I don't think you compare yourself to others, but I do think you're hard on yourself because you believe you should be farther along. But that goes back to the thing is, and this is to be honest with everybody I know, we look at some people who got results, right? And, you know, to be honest with you, some people are just better at what we do, you know, when they start. Some of us, I needed to learn how to smile. It took me 2 years to learn how to smile. Some of us need to learn how to appreciate ourselves. Some of us need to learn how not to respond with anger or with wrath. You know, there's simple things that if we could focus on, that's the consistency is what I hear you saying, is we need to have forms of consistency. If it's to post 3 times a week, then you post 3 times a week, but you got to detach yourself from the results you're getting from it, because you got to tell yourself, I'm not them. This is where I'm starting. And by the time that you know I'm there, then I would have figured it out on my own. But this is a lot of times too. Do you feel this way? Sometimes, and I talk about this a lot. Sometimes our thoughts are other people's thoughts. Our journey is other people's journey. So I always say, make sure you know where those thoughts are rooted in. This is one thing that I don't think people do. People say, this is my goal. Well, where did that goal originate from? A lot of times our goals, our dreams, what we want is because somebody else has it. And it's not a bad thing, right? But you got to understand that that's not originated from what you want. It was originated from somebody else. So you got to understand, like, how do I get and build my own roots? How do I build my own? You're going to tag along with somebody else. That's why all these greats. But like, I think even what Tony Robbins does, Tony Robbins tries to pound into your head that this is your life. Don't do what I'm doing. Do what you were called to do. And I think I'm 6 years. 6 years, I think I'm learning that. Finally, I think I'm learning that.
You said consistency, and consistency is big time. It's key, because there's 2 things that will push you forward, but those are the same things that are going to push you back too. And to me, it's consistency and commitment. So consistency is something that I'm working on, because whenever something happens and throws me off, by disappearing, I lose my momentum and my consistency, right? The other thing is commitment. So if and which is something that you and I talk about a lot. Like, if I say I'm going down this path and I'm going to do it 3 times a week, then I have to be committed to that path and not jump to another path, then become committed to that path and jump to another path and another path. Because every time you're jumping from one path to the other, or a new venture, what happens is that you're starting off at 0 with that venture. And maybe the venture you were on, you were already like at 5, but because you switched over, now you're back at 0, and then you're back at 0, and then you're back at 0. And then instead of just keep going forward with whatever you committed yourself to, the choice you made, just keep going forward with that choice. Check a month and 2 months in. Every month I will be checking to see, okay, how's it going? How am I doing? Do I need to pivot? Do I need to do it a different way, or whatever it is? But it's not about jumping from one thing to the other, because you're always at 0, and you're always like restarting and a whole year.
So let me ask you a question. So why do you think people bounce around so much? Why do you think people start something, don't finish it, go to the next thing, start it, don't finish it, go to the next thing, start and don't finish it? Why? What is the mentality behind there? Like, why do you believe that people do that?
I think a lot. I mean, my answer is the same as always. I think it's a lot of fear of failure. So then what happens is that before, when you start getting scared, all resistance is due to failure. I mean, sorry, all resistance is due to fear. But it's, since we don't want to say that, maybe we're not even conscious of it. Maybe
Yeah.
subconsciously we're so afraid that we're like, oh, let me switch to this thing, and then starting fresh makes you feel, starting from zero makes you feel like I got this. But then as you start moving forward and things get a little bit tough, then you're like, ooh, I don't got this. Let me do that other thing. I think I could do better than the other thing. And then you jump over there, and then the same thing happens over and over. So we cannot quit when it gets tough. We cannot quit when it gets hard. We cannot quit when, that's the thing I actually have worked on this year. This year I'm working on, no matter what's happening, no matter like how I'm feeling, and I've been through a lot like this whole summer, I am trying to still show up. Even if, I mean, I have been on lives and you guys start saying stuff, Elkie will say something, you'll say something, and my tears will start coming out because of what's happening. And then I have my glasses and I wipe them, but I'm still here showing up, which I did that last week or the week before, and Ryan was on there and whatever. And I'm trying to show up no matter what, because we could do that. We don't have to tell ourselves, oh, I feel too bad and I'm just going to stay in bed or I'm going to stay home. No, you could choose to still do what you got to do. It doesn't mean you're 100% doing it perfect, but you're showing up makes such a big difference, because even after I show up, I feel better. When I've shown up, I feel, man, that was good. It did more for me than I probably even delivered. Just the fact of showing up, and that, because then if you don't show up, what happens? The next day you feel guilty because you didn't show up. And then
Well,
the
I
next
think the key is too, and I do believe, so what you're saying, for me, even when I don't show up, the reason I do show up is for the people, because when I don't show up sometimes, and it's never because I just don't show up, but there's times where those are some of my most, I think, passionate talks where people get the most out of, and I get a response. And really, what feeds me is do I want to be successful? Who doesn't want to be successful in something they love to do? But really what brings me success is the messages I get from the people that are truly overcoming, attacking their fears, doing things that they never thought possible. Those messages fills me up. And and I do it at such a small level compared to some of the bigger guys. So I'm the one, I fall into that comparison game, and I make excuses for myself not to make changes when I really need to make changes. So I take excuses off the table, because who am I really failing when I don't give it everything I got? Those people who need to hear the message. I'm not failing. I mean, I'm failing myself, but my ultimate goal is to bless people. My ultimate goal is to help the next generational leader. I don't care if you're 20 or if you're 50. You are a leader, and you can lead in your business. You can lead in your home. You can lead in your marriage. You can lead in your community. You can lead in your church. That's why I was saying earlier, I want people to start to recognize you don't have to have $1 million business. You don't have to do that. You can make a good income, live a productive life, travel, and really benefit and do what you love to do, right? So I think we need to detach ourselves from the results. And the reasons, so kind of going there is the last question I asked you, is I also feel like sometimes people start on one journey. This is what I want to do, but they see somebody else that maybe is doing what they're doing, and then they maneuvered, and then they try to maneuver with them. So you're playing follow the leader. You're playing follow the leader rather than actually just taking responsibility and leading yourself. People are going to come. People are going to go. People are going to quit. People are going to shoot to the top, right? Depending on who they are, how good they are, the kind of following they get, the kind of message they get. We all have our own road. We all have our own journey on that success mountain, which is going to be a course one day, by the way. That success mountain that we're climbing up. What's the ultimate goal? Is to climb for the rest of your life. I don't want to reach the top. The top for me is when the good Lord brings me home. And I leave, I really want to leave life. I want to leave life exhausted, and I'm still trying to figure it out. Even 6 years in this journey, right? I'm still trying to figure it out, right? I'll never say that I got it all together, but I know that I'll never give up. As hard as it is, as much as I want to quit sometimes and just go back into my little bubble and just focus on me and my family and not worry about, there are people that I believe that I can reach. There are people that need to hear my story. There are people that need to see if that freaking dude can do it, right? I know I can do it. And I just want you to understand that your mountain is exactly what it is. It's yours and nobody else's. God is going to align you with those people that help you up the mountain, but they're not going to be there forever. Some will, but you're going to find them as you progress. Some people are not going to progress with you, and you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with leaving people behind. Doesn't mean you don't love them. It just means that God has bigger plans for you, and they're going to have to figure their journey out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree with that. And something you were talking about earlier or a minute ago, I didn't want to interrupt you, is how we get distracted by what appears to be an opportunity, but it takes a lot of discernment to like really figure out, is this going to be, I used to have a real hard time seeing that, and probably I still do, like calling things opportunities when they're really just distractions from what I have set for myself. And man, when you embark in one of those supposed opportunities and you're on that for 3-4 months and it pulled you off course, it really takes you off. It makes you lose momentum on your own project. And so you got to be very, very careful with that and really just like really meditate on it and decide like what is the best move for us. And I think that happens to all of us. I think that really just happens to all of us. Some of those distractions could be not even like job opportunities or work. It could be more like family issues. Family problems could distract us, and like we might decide, oh, my family needs me now, or this needs me now, and then you just get distracted from your goals. Yep.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah, that was it. That was what I said.
One of the greatest stories, and I heard it for the first time. I cannot remember, but I heard it quite a few years ago when I first got in the personal development field. And Roger Bannister, everybody knows Roger Bannister, right?
No.
Roger Bannister was the first human being to ever run a 4-minute mile, right? And for years and years, there was a guy before Roger Bannister, right, when they were both competing to see who could hit it first. He had all these details and scientific and mathematic researches and all this stuff, and he still couldn't hit the 4-minute mile. When Roger Bannister hit the 4-minute mile, it was never done. Think about that. It was never done. It was never done. And I think well over like 40, 50, 70,000 people now have ran, even high school kids have ran the 4-minute mile. And the thing, this is the thing, was it because, what was the reason why? The reason why it never happened, because nobody ever did it. As soon as somebody did it, it was like, people just consistently knew they could. So my whole point to this is we need to take excuses off the table. We need to take excuses off the table. I don't freaking care. Like my life sucks sometimes, right? Things get hard. I got teenage girls, boys are coming into the picture. I want to freaking just lose my mind, right? I talk to Sarai about it all the time. And I got a 17-year-old son. I got a handicapped daughter who they're trying to force back into school, and they want her to wear a mask. So I got all this stuff going on. Sometimes it sucks, but there's no excuses. People are relying on you wherever you are. People need you to overcome the excuses that you're making to yourself. People need you to overcome the lies that you continue to tell yourself, why you can't get out of bed, why you keep watching that television, why you keep overeating, why you keep failing in the alcohol and drugs, why you keep cheating on your spouse, why you keep fighting, whatever it is. Those excuses are because you don't want to face the truth. You don't want to face the fact that you ain't got it all figured out. You don't want to face the fact that things are not the way you thought they would be. Now it's the time that I believe we need to suck it up. We need to suck it up. We need to take the excuses off the table. We need to truly assess ourselves, look in the mirror and say, damn it, I'm sick and tired of you not fulfilling what I want. And you're talking to yourself.
And you brought up the Roger Bannister story. I didn't know his name. I had heard that story, but you just hear that story and you don't see like what's really behind it. And
Yes.
what's really behind it is a secret. It's a law. And if you're able to apply that secret and that law in your life, you could do anything. What happened to not to him, because he's the one that did it. What happened to everybody that followed is the placebo effect, which is basically because he proved that it could be done. All of a sudden it became a possibility for them. All of a sudden something that they didn't see possible became possible, and they were actually able to envision it for themselves. And it's when we're able to envision for ourselves something. For example, the placebo effect is, you know what that is, right? The placebo effect, that they give you the sugar pill and you don't know that they're giving you the sugar pill, and all of a sudden you get better. So that's the same thing. The sugar pill for those people was, hey, he did it, you could do it too. Here's the sugar pill. And so they all believe they could do it. So imagine that's not like that magical question. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you try to do? So what if you were given the sugar pill, or the sugar pill, saying, here, I'm going to let you take this pill, and whatever you want, it's going to happen. Boom, take it. Wouldn't you act completely different? Wouldn't you stop jumping from one thing to another? Wouldn't we stop procrastinating? Wouldn't we stop doing that? So like, if you could just imagine that sugar pill, imagine like, if you're able to envision it, if you're able to see it, if it's in your mind clearly. Are you having allergies or something? You look like you're dying.
My nose is itching so bad. I don't know why. No, I don't have COVID.
The placebo effect is so real, and we could all use that. We could all use the placebo effect in our own life to make our dreams come true. The thing is that we stop our dreams from happening with our excuses, our fears. Our excuses come from our fears. We're the ones that stop everything from happening because we're afraid. We're afraid of our dream. Our dream is so big, it scares us, and we're like, it can't really happen. But what if I gave you the sugar pill? What if I give you the sugar pill? What then?
Excuses are stupid.
But that's why I do Thrive Talk too. That's why Thrive Talk is so important, because I want to show you, look what this person went through, and they made it. By the way, tomorrow I'm going to have Annabelle on Thrive Talk. It's going to be awesome. And she has an amazing story to tell too.
I
think it's in the air. I don't have allergies, and I feel, I've been for the last 3 days thinking I'm sick.
It's like the tip of my nose is turning really red and it's just itching. Like, I don't know, whatever. I think Sarai poisoned me. I'm just saying. Look, one of my favorite quotes, right? One of my favorite quotes is, if you're not living on the edge, then you're taking up too much space. Ooh, that's so powerful.
Oh, I like that. That's
so powerful. I will. But if you really think about that, like, life is meant to be experienced. Like, we're supposed to experience, but we get stuck. And I'm not saying like but we get stuck in marriage, right? And we stop growing in it. We get stuck as a parent and we stop growing in it. We get stuck at a job and we stop growing in it. We get everything that we do. We think it's the thing to do. It's like, I got married, I've arrived. I had kids, I finished. I got a job that got benefits and a pension. Woohoo! And then I'm going to tell you, I was talking when I was in the construction field, and I was talking to a gentleman. He was 55 years old. He'd been working since he was like 19 in the mechanical industry. And I asked him, like, what do you look forward to? And all he could talk about was 10 years. I got 10 years left. I got 10 years left. I got 10 years left. Think about that. Do you know how many people that I talk to in the construction field or in business, corporate America, and they say, can't wait till that pension, can't wait till I retire. And I'm like, and what happens if you die? Like, you're waiting to experience your life on the backside. Why not experience life now as you're figuring it out? Stop being afraid to figure it out as you go. Suck at it. Like, just suck. Suck at it. Like I'm telling you, sometimes I just suck. And I got to be like, that was really sucky. But hey, I did it.
I don't even know how else to live because I've been an entrepreneur for like 15, I don't even know how many years I've been an entrepreneur. So like, I don't know.
Could you imagine being an employee? Could you ever go? I'm Queen Brandy Johnson. Queen Brandy Johnson. We were talking one time. She said, "Oh hell no, I could never." She's like, I could never be an employee again. She's like, and I always say I'm a horrible employee, and it's not because I don't do my job. It's because I know there's something more, right? And I'm not telling, like, some of you were designed to do. Some of you were designed to be a supervisor that uplift and move people up that corporate ladder, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Do it. Be happy with it. But if you're complaining, if you don't like waking up and going to your job, if you feel like you're handcuffed to the paycheck, then maybe there's something that's telling you I need to start searching for what my true calling is, right? Because some things that we're doing, we're not meant to get a pension for. This is one thing that I used to say this all the time. And I say, if you work for your passion, it'll pursue in your purpose and it'll provide your pension. So if you really think about that, right? Most people work their whole life for a pension, but they're not passionate and it's not their purpose. So my thing is when you find your purpose, you get passionate about your purpose and it'll pursue into a pension and you'll be took care of the rest of your life. And that's what I want you guys to think about. What is something that you're letting slide through that cracks? As I was talking about that, remember I was talking about at the beginning that no excuses. I was making excuses for the cracks in my foundation, and I wasn't willing to level up. I wasn't willing to listen to something new. Now I know Sarai's apply it, but I think in order for me to apply it, I had to hear it from a different voice. And I see that the one thing that I'm missing, that you could say it all over you want, but when somebody who's done it so many times before you simplifies it for you, then it's like you have an aha moment, right? Just like I said with my clients. When my clients have aha moments, why? Because they've never heard it that way before. They've never seen it that way before. They've never visioned it that way before. So when me and Sarai and all the other coaches come into there and we say it the way they've never heard it, they have an aha moment and they can implement it and start to see results. That's all coaching is, guys. But I do believe you need a coach. You got to have a coach. You got to have a coach in order to succeed at maximum capacity. Is that the word?
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, yeah, but definitely. I mean, I always have several coaches. It's so important. It's so important to have someone like holding you accountable and just like learning just feeding yourself new things. So, are you ready to close out? Because
yeah, we can close out. Do you have any closing thoughts?
I am Q unless I am unless you are an employee with your own company. That is what you are doing. What is IMO? What does IMO stand for?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Carrie is there. If you are living on the edge, then you are taking too much space. Life has got to be experienced. I love that. Yeah.
Yes.
That was great.
Dream.
That was a really great quote.
I love, and Dream is Dream is such a great student. Dream is such a great student. It's Mimi's not on here. Mimi too. Mimi is, I'm telling you right now, that young lady I'm so proud of. She's just like, what book should I get? What should I do next? What should I have next? Wow, like she's on it. She's on it, man. Dream's the same way.
I feel like Jareem must have a lot of wiseness. I don't know if that's a word, but I think there's a lot of wiseness to Jareem that he could share with us. I have a feeling about that.
Well,
Jareem,
we're eventually taking a trip down to see him.
Oh, have you seen like his place? That's
one of the trips. That's one of the trips.
Yeah.
That's one of the trips we're taking. So do you have any closing thoughts? Any closing thoughts? Anything you want the people to implement immediately?
Jareem says, I am an economist and a statistician by profession, but I found my passion in tours and travels. Guys, visit my website at Tambua, Africa.
That's his resort.
Oh, I am, in my opinion. That's so dumb. We're so like old. And that was a reference to scary comment. Oh God.
Oh,
All right. So yeah, my closing argument, or no, it's not an argument. My closing comment is, guys, is take the time to breathe. Take the time to just meditate for yourself and just envision what you want, how you want to end this year, and how do you want to go into next year and start working at it. I think these are the last 3 months, like we're on the 16th. We have 3.5 months to complete some goals for ourselves and to start 2021. At least that's where I'm at. So just take the time to not just think about it, write it down, spell it out clearly what it is you want to really accomplish, and meditate on it and visualize it. There's so much power in visualization. I'm getting like a sore throat too. You hear me? I'm getting like raspy
I can hear that. That's all the yelling you keep doing at me.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing, and honestly, it's been really working for me to just visualize what it is that I want, and really getting at it. Like don't just make sure that every day you're taking some action and you're checking something off that's pushing you a little bit closer to your goal. Even if that thing is very small, it doesn't matter, but as long as you're having forward movement. So I know I'm always talking about radical action, but now is the time for real action.
Yes.
So that we can enter 2021 in a whole other space and feeling like somewhat like we're in progress, because it isn't getting to the top of the mountain that's going to make us happy. It's making progress. So let's make it progress together. Let's make like the next 3.5 months all about progress and all about changing. Those are my closing remarks. Look, thank you, Jamie. Jamie's like telling you to stop picking on me because apparently Elke's on your side.
I hope Jamie's not telling you to stop picking on her. I would be a her then. So
I've been drinking. I drink lemon hot. I do that, Ryan. I've been doing that every night. Trying to kill off.
Ryan, I've been doing that every night.
Yeah, I mean, I've been feeling like I'm about to get sick like every day, and it doesn't happen. So apparently, it's just in my mind.
I feel like somebody like you guys. If you guys know anybody who could really benefit from the information, make sure you share it with them, right? But this is really thank you, Jermaine. I want to. Okay, so I believe in second chances, right? I believe in second chances, right? I believe everybody did. Huh?
Third, fourth, fifth, sixth chances. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Yeah, but I that's not what I mean, right? So many people are still stuck on the fact that they've screwed up, they've made mistakes, they've gone through a divorce. I've been through all that. They've done jail time, whatever it is. I believe it's I wrote this down, and it says a lesson in belief that not everybody makes the best choices in life, but a second chance might be all it takes to change a life forever, right? I was writing this the other day. Each of us makes decisions every day. We choose to complain or we choose to compliment, right? And I do both sometimes, right? We choose to give up or we choose to fight back. And I think we all do both of those, right? We choose to live a life of purpose or die a death of cowardice, right? When you really think about these words, I wrote these down for myself. I put my name in front of these because I wanted me to understand words are powerful. Ray, how do you want to live your life? Do you want to be a coward, Ray? Or do you want to be a warrior, right? Because I don't think you can be both, right? And this is believe in second chances. Believe you have been given. You will wake up tomorrow, then you need to understand that something's in front of you. Encourage those who are struggling, no matter how bleak their life might be. Never give up on others. But most importantly, guys, never give up on yourself. Never give up on yourself. Never give up on yourself.
Second chances are given to us by us. You get me? Like, we're the ones that need to give ourselves a second chance. So yeah, that's awesome.
God says I have prepared a way for you to go. So if God has already prepared a way for you to go, and you know you're not there, why not make a pivot in your life? Make a conscious decision tonight that if I watch, cut down the TV, cut down the junk food. We need to get mind, body, spirit. We need to get everything in alignment, and we can't have one without the other. You want to live a fulfilled life, take all the excuses off the table. Well, I eat this way because, well, I drink this way because, well, I love to binge watch this because. Reward yourself with things. Right now is the time, guys. You take excuses off the table and go out and you start the first step in order to get to the life that you've always desired to live. It'll take time, but it'll be so worth it. So that's my closing thoughts. I love you guys. You're awesomely, phenomenally.
Good night, everyone. I'm sorry I'm so tired and I'm like low energy, but I'm tired.
See, and I was just talking about that.
I'm tired.
And it's my place to step up.
Yes, brother Raymond. Ryan on our show too. Good night, everyone.
Glory's in the house. I scream Jesus because it's all that I got. Y'all know my music. Y'all ain't getting no Jay-Z. Come on now.
See you tomorrow, Lori.
And cave your chest and just one punch. Woo. You guys are awesome. Know it. No more excuses. I want to see some wins, guys. Let's go. Let's go get some wins. Enemy.